Hello, good morning. This is Stephanie with Simply Pilates, and we're going to go through a little bit of a stability ball workout just to get comfortable with it. It gives great feedback as far as stabilizing body parts and maybe what side is stronger than the other. And you'll definitely see that our bodies were created asymmetrically. One side will be stronger than the other and more controlled than the other. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with our ball on our back. So we're going to lay back on the ball, and we want to have our feet directly underneath our knees. Knees and feet are about hip distance apart. Hands are going to come behind your head and elbows are going to be wide. You're going to lay back over the ball, getting a little bit of extension and stretch through that thoracic spine, but keeping the head stabilized and supported through the neck. And we curl up, tucking pelvis, big curl through the abdominals, and then we head back again. Going into that extension, we lift up and then we curl up. Coming back to flat, we extend long over the ball, feeling that extension, coming back up and curling over. We have 3 more just like that. So we start here, we do our extension. We lift up and we curl up. 2 more, starting at our beginning, extending spine long, come back to center, curl through to the top. We have 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. So now I want you to stay lifted. In your feet, feet are grounded. You're going to stay lifted through the chest, and you're just going to drop hips towards the ground and lifting back up. Staying lifted through that upper body. We're dropping our hips, lifting our hips to the sky, keeping everything centered and controlled. Try to minimize movement between the distance of your knees. Everything stays strong. Dipping down. Glutes lift you back up to start. Again, upper body is still working throughout. Crown of the head is lifted long, lifting through that spine. And shoulders stay relaxed and out of ears. We have 3 more. Finding your breath. Inhale and exhale. We have 1 more. Inhale and exhale, lift. Excellent. Taking fingers from behind your head, I want you to sink hips down just slightly so it's easier to keep head up without there being strain on your neck. Arms are going to go out in front of you, chest is soft, shoulder is dropped. You're going to rotate upper body only to the right. Coming back to center, keeping shoulders down, we rotate to the left. Again, this is just a spinal rotation. There should be little to no movement at the hips and below. Trying to stabilize through lower body while upper body's doing this movement. 2 more to each side. Should feel the obliques engaging here again. You're lifting through the crown of the head, staying long through that spine throughout. 1 more each side. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I want you to rotate over to the right side of the body, and we're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, digging into those obliques. Shoulders are out of the ears. No movement at the chin, so we're not hyperextending the chin on the lift. 2 and 1. Leaning back, come through center. Going to the left, and we pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we come back to center, and we roll back, lift ourselves up. We're going to turn around. Glutes should be kind of hot at this point. We're going to come down on the ball, and what I'm going to do is I have a wall behind me. I want you to place your chest and belly on the ball. Feet are going to be pressing up against the wall behind you just to help with that stability. We're going to go into a little bit of this extension through the spine. Hands are placed softly behind your ears. Again, shoulders are down. Nice long spine. I want you to lift, head gazing forward, chest lifts, lower back down. So I want you to think of like a candy cane hook. Nothing is hooking from the lower part of the spine. The lumbar spine has very little lift. It's a big lift through the crown of the head, through that thoracic spine only, and then it's lower back down. On the next one, I want you to lift as if you're lifting up out of the spine. And as you lower, you're lifting again and extending long through the spine as you come back to start. 2 more. We lift, inhale, and we exhale down. 1 more. We lift, and we come down. This next one, I want you to come on up, hold it up, and you're going to do little rotations to the right, come to the center, and left. Hard part here is keeping those scapular muscles, pulling the shoulders down, no piercing through that neck. Your entire body is twisting through that chest, so it's not just your head rotating. Your head stays in alignment with the rest of your spine. 1 more each side, rotate, and center, and rotate, and center, and then we'll go ahead and lower our body. We're gonna go into some push-ups. So on this, I'm gonna turn my direction so you can see what my upper body and lower body is doing for this. We're gonna get on the ball. We're gonna have our hips on the ball. Upper body's gonna come forward. It's gonna be a seesaw motion. So legs are long and straight, pulling through the toes. Hands are stacked right now. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders are all in alignment. I want you to have the eye of your elbows facing forward, and the rest of the elbows are going to be facing behind. You're driving elbows in through the side as you hinge down. Face comes down, and we come back up. Seesaw motion. So again, we dip down, we come back up. Stay lifted through the spine. You don't want there to be any change. You want to find that neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Keeping it throughout. All weight is loaded into those triceps. 3 and 2. Don't hold your breath here. Exhale on that push. We inhale down and we exhale on that push. Go ahead and push back onto the ball. Find the release. If you want, you could do a little modified child's pose here. Leaning forward. Hands are resting, pushing through the underarms and the armpits. Excellent. Okay. Next, we're going to be standing on our ball. With our stand on the ball, we gain control of the ball. Holding on to it. We stabilize. Right now, I'm standing on my left leg. Right leg is doing the work. Just holding the ball is a lot of work here. So I'm going to posture myself here. Crown of the head goes tall. Neck is in neutral. Shoulders are down. Chest is soft. Abdominals are engaged as if a corset is tightened around my abdominals. Hands can just rest on my hips. And I roll the ball out. And I pull it back in. So I want you to feel that length through the leg as you roll the ball out, lengthening through the back of the leg. Hip flexors and quads are responsible for pulling that ball back in. And we lengthen for 4 and 3. Finding your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to leave the leg out. And I'm just going to rotate out slightly. Try to keep both my hips still facing forward. A little hip mobility here. The leg is just moving. That femur bone is in that hip socket. That's the only rotation that's happening here. Both my hips stay facing forward. There's no opening up of that hips. Woo! A lot of balance. 2 and 1. Back in, roll back in, step off, we go to the other side. Let's see how our balance is on this side. So finding before we jump into the move, I want to establish my stance. Everything's engaged in proper alignment, and then I start here. I roll out long, feeling the length through the back of the leg, pulling back in, hip flexors are lifting. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. With each exhale, try to grow taller through that spine. Abdominals get tighter and shorter and more engaged. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Pull back in. I want you to lengthen out. Now remember, we're keeping our hips squared and we're just laterally moving the ball. We're abducting that ball out from the midline and we're bringing it right back in, keeping hips squared. So these points of your hip bones stay facing forward the whole time. You'll find that your balance is definitely much more questionable if you actually open that hip up to the side. So keeping your hips squared forces you to stabilize. Standing legs getting a big workout right now, but your balance is much more manageable. Last one here. We pull it back in and we lower down. And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Stability ball, great work. I'll be posting some more later, so have a great day.